ladies and gentlemen, we've invited first class, now we're inviting executive platinum, emerald, sapphire, and ruby if those words are written. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I am your host, and I'm very pleased to welcome back the dapper Lee Harris. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I think, now don't get me wrong, we've been doing it a long time, but I do think you may have used dapper before.
Yeah, it was just, you know, we had some issues with the internet connection, and you know what? I can't be on all the time. I know you expect me to be, but I can't, you know?
I know. I thought you were. This is brand new information to me.
I know. I just didn't have my energy drinks this morning, so it is what it is.
Go.
Right. Next week, I'll be all over it. And I have to mention that Crew Travel is brought to you weekly by Blue Marine Travel, who haven't lost a passenger since Lee Harris was born back in the late 1900s. And of course, their people move people.
Yes, we do.
Or at least try to. But in today's day and age, sometimes that's proving difficult.
Yeah, it's with airlines and airports, it is a little bit more tricky than normal, that's for sure.
We're looking at a little more strike action coming up again. American Airlines.
Yeah, unfortunately so. With strikes having been widespread at European airports in recent months, American Airlines engineers based at London Heathrow Airport could be among the next employees to walk out. The technicians and crew chiefs will vote on the matter later this month. That's amid a dispute over a 3-year plan regarding their pay. More than 50 Heathrow-based American Airlines engineers are caught up in a dispute, with the prospect of a strike potentially leading to extensive disruption. Voting on the strike will commence next week, with ballots opening on Tuesday, September the 13th. Those involved will have until the end of the month to cast their votes, with the window to do so slamming shut on Friday, September the 30th. Now, American Airlines operates as many as 23 daily departures from Heathrow, and given the importance of its engineers in making sure that these flights operate as planned, industrial action involving them could have a severe impact on Americans' Heathrow-based operations. Obviously, it goes without saying, any crew who have flights booked with American Airlines at the moment into and out of Heathrow, at least for the next couple of months, I would say, please keep in contact with your travel provider. So
we're safe until the end of September.
Until the end of September, yeah,
right.
They've got that to put their vote in, and then obviously after that point, if as is anticipated, they do all agree to strike, or the majority agree to strike, then we could see some issues.
And US Airlines has some news.
So major US airlines have updated their customer service agreements following pressure from the Biden administration to step up consumer rights in the wake of a summer plagued by flight cancellations and delays. American Airlines, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, JetBlue, and Southwest have all published updates to their customer service policies this past week. The policies have been rewritten in clearer language, with tweaks in some cases to when passengers can receive meal and hotel vouchers if a flight is cancelled or delayed. In United's case, the airline is now offering meal vouchers for flights delayed more than 3 hours, when the previous threshold was 4 hours, and the changes were published online. The airline also outlined its hotel voucher policy for unexpected overnight stays caused by something within the airline's control. Now, if vouchers are not available for their partner hotels, the airline said customers can submit a receipt to the airline's customer care team for reimbursement of up to $200 US. American Airlines is also among those offering hotel rooms for air travelers in such situations, so long as cancellations aren't caused by something beyond the airline's control, say for like weather. The airline also outlines that it will cover transportations to and from the hotel. Now, Southwest Airline also restricts hotel stays to cancellations beyond its control and says it will be provided upon request if available. Now, if anyone wants any more information on their consumer rights, please head to the US Transportation dashboard, which can be found at www.transportation.gov/air consumer.
Cathay Pacific.
Yeah, so Cathay Pacific Airways have said it will gradually increase flying capacity in the coming months. That's after the Hong Kong government on Friday lifted rules requiring passenger crew to quarantine in a hotel for 3 days on return to the city. The onerous crew quarantine rules had made rostering difficult and were a major impediment to the airline returning to more normal operations. Cathay's passenger capacity was at just 12.4% of pre-pandemic levels in the month of July. And before the passenger crew rules were lifted, Cathay forecast it would only reach 25% of pre-pandemic capacity by the end of the year, making them the hardest hit airline in the industry. Cathay said it will continue to add back flights as quickly as feasible, but it would take time to rebuild capacity as it involves a substantial amount of crew training and reactivating stored aircraft.
Right. And Qantas.
Yeah, so in the early days of the pandemic, some airlines kept the middle seat free to maintain social distancing. Obviously, that was never going to last. And with short and medium haul flights virtually back to 2019 levels, just finding a seat at the moment is becoming problematic. This means that the longed for dream of most economy passengers to find an empty seat next to you is pretty much a thing of the past. Although not if you're a lucky Qantas passenger invited to reserve the empty seat next door for the princely sum of $30 Australian, depending on the flight length. Last week, Australia's flag carrier Qantas announced its new neighbour-free offering on selected domestic flights. Now, passengers choose their standard seat when booking, and if eligible for the spare seat, will receive an email from Qantas between 48 hours and 1 hour before the scheduled departure. They can then go back into their booking, and if available, the neighbour-free option will be highlighted next to their selected seat. Now, to reserve the seat, they select it, provide payment details, and submit the request. Qantas will email confirmation, and both seats will appear on the passenger's boarding pass.
Doha International Airport has news.
Yeah, so Doha's Hamad International Airport has opened a second hotel within its transit area. The 100-room Oryx Garden Hotel is located in the North Plaza, with guests able to use the passenger train to visit sister property Oryx Airport Hotel, which is in the South Plaza, should they want to use its vitality, wellbeing and fitness centre. Now, the new centre features a 25-metre swimming pool, gym, spa and squash court. On the sustainability side, the new hotel will replace plastic water bottles with eco-friendly alternatives. They'll use recycled paper for all hotel printing collaterals and operations, and substitute plastic bags with biodegradable bags. Now, as this is a main transit hub for many crew, the news of a second transit hotel will be welcome news, meaning there is more chance of getting a good rest if you have a longer layover in Doha than usual, and especially at the moment when many airlines are still running on a reduced schedule.
Right. Well, not too bad, but I mean, I have to say, we are going to be bringing you, I can pretty much almost guarantee, strike action news every single week.
Yeah, unfortunately so. Airlines are, it just baffles me. You're seeing it week in, week out. It's happening. It's a knock-on effect. One crew do it. Eventually they get the pay rise or a pay rise of some kind. Through a drawn-out procedure, which may involve strike action or the threat of strike action. Other airlines see it, and it's just a knock-on effect. It's a domino, so it's going to be going on for a while. Like you say, why airlines just don't pay people what they're worth, I don't know, but I guess that's business.
I have to say that Crew Travel is brought to you weekly by Blue Marine Travel, who haven't lost a passenger since Lee Harris was born back in the late 1900s. And of course, their people move people. Lee, thank you ever so much again for all your valuable advice. And of course, we're going to provide all your information underneath this interview. And of course, Blue Marine Travels, when this interview airs later today.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you here next week.
Same time, same place.
As always. You've been watching another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I have been your host. We'll see you again next week.